Now, in a decision that has angered Leave campaigners, the Royal Mail has said it won't be producing a stamp to mark the UK's departure from the European Union, not least because a stamp was produced back in 1973 to mark our accession to the European Economic Community. Here it is, 3p. You'd need 19 of those for second-class post these days. Well, should Brexit be marked by a stamp? Let's go to Ellie, who's on College Green. Ellie.
Thanks, Joe. Well, I bet you've written all your Christmas cards, but imagine you could have been reflecting on a busy year, writing those Christmas cards and then sending them all off with a lovely Brexit stamp. Food for thought. Well, let's discuss it with two budding philanthropists I've got here. Peter Whittle from UKIP and Eloise Todd from Best for Britain. Peter, let's start with you. Yeah. This isn't going to happen, actually, is it? Because the Royal Mail don't usually commemorate big political events.
Well, this is a massive historical event, and the truth is, in 1973, they made quite a big deal about commemorating us going into the EU, and that was without even a vote. And I think it's quite extraordinary. This might seem like a trivial thing, but it's a symbolic thing, and symbolic things are very, very important. It's outrageous, frankly, that they've already made this decision not to commemorate it.
Eloise, it did happen once before in 1973, so this is a big momentous event, whether you like it or not.
Actually, the reason we shouldn't waste taxpayers' money on these stamps is because the process isn't over yet. There's other steps in this democratic process, and we won't be Brexiting until and unless Parliament behind us votes on it. Otherwise, we're leaving that decision to parliaments across Europe, and I, for one, don't want to see that. And frankly, we should be issuing stamps that celebrate things that bring us together, like the royal wedding.
No, this is absolutely ridiculous. The fact is, the establishment wanted us to go in 73, so they commemorated it. The establishment doesn't like the fact we're coming out now, so that's why there's going to be no stamp, and I think it's unforgivable.
But Eloise does make the useful point that it hasn't actually happened yet, and there are bigger things to worry about with Brexit, aren't there?
She mentions taxpayers' money. I mean, we're still going to be spending billions and billions of taxpayers' money on the EU while we're sort of waiting for this deal. I mean, this is no argument, really. This is a sort of simple thing. It's an historic thing. We're going forward into a new era. There should be some commemoration of it.
Eloise?
If I may, this is about what people want. People
want
the Parliament to take control, and we need our Parliament to take control of this Brexit process.
You're
what
in
we
denial.
have right now, not in denial at
you
all.
Are.
We haven't even seen what kind of Brexit this government wants. They haven't even decided between them what they want. They're meeting next week.
We
want all options to be on the table.
If we can bring it back to the more narrow issue of stamps.
We can do what's best for Britain. That's what we're campaigning
for.
Not
terribly surprising. You're obviously disagreeing on the stamps and of course on Brexit, but we like to imagine the unimaginable here at the Daily Politics. So we have actually mocked up a few options for what this stamp could look like if indeed it did happen. Peter, take this one. What do you think of this? This is very similar to the original.
It would be better that way. If you're going to have one, at least the Union Jack is going to be at the top.
You'd have the Queen upside down, though.
What about all these stuff? I don't want to see the EU in the stamps that are going to commemorate. I mean, even if we're going to have them, we shouldn't have the stars of the EU. This is a new era. It's a new, exciting era. So we shouldn't really have these signs.
What do you think?
Well, I think in the interest of balance, we need 3 examples of stamps that we might have if British people don't want to Brexit and if the Parliament votes that.
But they do want to
What about this one? We've got a lovely balloon floating away from the EU.
Democracy is a process, it's not a moment. I mean, at the moment, Theresa May's balloon doesn't have a knot in it and it's fizzling out.
All these EU, look, I don't want to see the stars of the EU. We've had 40 years of this.
Okay, here's one.
That's a decent compromise because that could work.
In other words, no Britain. No Britain.
That could work.
Has Britain
ripped
out
of
the
yes,
process.
ripped out, totally negative. So in other words, this is like nothing and this is still alive. No, I mean the fact is, I think you've got to accept democracy, Eloise.
I accept
democracy.
We
voted absolutely
to
come out.
We want parliamentary sovereignty and parliamentary democracy, and if we don't have that vote on the final deal, that means we're leaving it to a bunch of other countries to decide what we want about Brexit.
We voted to come out,
but
and we should commemorate
we're going to say
it.
what our stamps look like, crucially, and of course it's not actually a democratic process. But what would you like to see instead then, very briefly?
I'd like to focus on things that we let's wait and see until the end of the process. This isn't done until it's done, and people don't want people of this country to know that it's not yet a done deal.
Okay, very quickly, Peter Whittle.
We should have a big Union Jack. We should have things that celebrate all the things that are open to us in the future, and not these negative examples.
Maybe the Queen. Maybe we'll just stick to what we're used to. I'm going to have to stop it there. Thank you very much. Well, as we say.